You cannot burn fat from a specific area just by training that area. If you're still doing sit-ups to burn the belly fat, you've been lied to. Yes, your hormones can affect your fat storage patterns. Let's talk about a few of the fat loss shortcuts that don't work. Hello, I'm Marcus Hoffer at Scalper and Power. I'm a personal trainer and fitness coach with the goal of getting you from where you are to where you want to be. Today I'm going to be tackling one of the biggest fitness myths that there are, the idea that you can target belly fat with certain exercises. Spoiler alert, if you're still doing 100 crunches to get a six pack, you've been lied to. Here's why spot reducing fat is a myth. It's what fitness influencers have been pushing for decades, and it still gets perpetrated till this day. You cannot burn fat from a specific area just by training that area. Your body burns calories from stored energy across your system. Usually that stored energy comes in the form of fat. That's all stored energy is. It's all fat is. Stored energy. Mixed with water and some other components, but you get the gist. It doesn't just burn calories from whatever muscle you're using. And yes, you can strengthen your abs. You can build them, same as any other muscle group, biceps, anything. But exactly, they are no different to any other muscle group. You train them the exact same way. So why are people training them a whole lot differently? Abs aren't just some magical thing, they're the same as any other muscle group. And to reveal them, you have to remove the layer of fat that's above them. Same way if you want to get lean arms, you need to remove the layer of fat over them. If you want to show your abs, you need to remove the layer of fat over it. Same thing. Legs, that's just how it works. If you're still doing sit-ups to burn the belly fat, you've been lied to. Ab exercises should build muscle. They're not going to burn fat from that area. You can build up those specific muscles, those ab muscles, but when you lose fat, it's going to be from your entire body. Different people store fat differently. That is something we'll get into. But you can only reduce your overall body fat percentage. You can't pick and choose where it's from. You're not going to get lean just by doing ab exercises. You need to be in a calorie deficit. It means burning more calories than you're taking in. Exercise wise, that's what cardio is for, because you're using more of your body, you're burning more energy doing cardio than you are doing resistance training. You're going to burn more on the elliptical than you are on the arm curl. The thing that many influencers push is doing high rep workouts for abs. Why? If you're doing sets of 12 to 15 for your biceps, maybe 8 to 12 for chest, whatever it may be, while all of a sudden you're doing 25 plus, 50 plus reps of crunches, sit-ups, leg lifts. Why? Anything above 25 reps, not only are you just working on muscle endurance, but you're getting into levels of cardio. And cardio is good for fat loss, is great for weight loss, but you're wasting your time if you're trying to do crunches for weight loss instead of just going on a bike or running. The amount of calories you're going to be burning is going to be next to nothing compared to doing actual cardio. So you're just going to be wasting your time. We do not want that. So not only is it inefficient for burning fat, but it's also inefficient for building muscle. Roughly 8 to around 20 reps is where you want to be for hypertrophy. Anything under is going to be for strength. Anything over is going to be muscle endurance. But the amount of fatigue that you're going to be building up if you're doing 50 reps of something, it's not going to be optimal for building muscle. It's not going to be optimal for hypertrophy. If you want to get defined abs, the two main components are the size of the abs, which you're going to build in the gym through resistance training, and the other being having a low body fat percentage revealed in the kitchen. You can't outtrain a bad diet, so the vast majority of the calorie deficit is going to be from just not taking in those calories. It's going to be from limiting your calorie intake. That's why the phrase abs are built in the gym for resistance training and revealed in the kitchen through the calorie deficit is accurate. Just a tip with ab workouts, you want to be targeting your lower abs because usually they're the most underdeveloped. Most people have the insertions for 6 abs, the 6-pack, right? Your top 4 are going to be targeted using compound movements. So if you're doing deadlifts and other movements similar, you're going to be getting those targeted. But if you want to isolate the lower abs, leg lifts are usually the way to go. And I would prioritize those, as you can very easily get stuck on just having the four abs, and then needing to get a lot leaner to reveal the bottom two. So if you don't want to have to get that excruciatingly lean and diet that far down, you want to build those bottom two muscles up to be roughly in line with the top four. Because that is something else as well. If you're not going into a bodybuilding show and you just want to look good, having the maximum amount of body fat while still having a six-pack is kind of optimal. So like, look at Henry Cavill, great physique. He's not and never really has been excruciatingly lean, apart from in the Immortals. But looking at his Superman physique, he's not absolutely shredded, but he's got the six-pack. So kind of, as long as you have that six, then it doesn't really matter how much fat you have elsewhere, because that's just going to really be a part of your size. So you can get that sort of, that look of being big, the big look, while also looking lean because you got the six-pack. And that is what I would suggest if you want to get a mix of both, where you look big, but you're also aesthetic. The problem I have with a lot of ab exercises that people recommend is that they don't give an option to progressively overload. It's just keep on adding more reps of it. Sit-ups, even leg lifts to a certain extent. If you're not progressively overloading by adding more weight, then you're just going to be adding more reps. Then you're going to easily get into 100 reps of crunches, sit-ups, whatever it may be. You want to stay roughly between the 8 to 20 rep range. Ideally, I would say for abs, around 12 to 15. But depending on your approach, you may want to go lower, your 8 to 12, or even higher. As long as you're really not going over 25, you should be alright. And you definitely don't want to be going into 1 or 2, because that's just injury city. What's the point? You're not going to be building muscle. So pick exercises you can progressively overload through weight. Whether that be cable crunches, weighted leg lifts, the ab machine, any of those. As long as you can load the exercise with extra weight, that's going to be beneficial. That is something I will grant these influencers who have these outrageous ab programs, right? It is difficult to progressively overload abs in comparison to something like biceps. Biceps, add more weight to the bar. Progressively overloading leg lifts, it is a lot more difficult, because you're going to get to a certain point where it's difficult to add more plates without them falling, without losing balance, all of that. It is a lot easier to progressively overload the top 4 abs than it is the bottom 2. But still, picking exercises that work for you. And usually, for the bottom 2, I would recommend leg lifts, weighted leg lifts, putting the plate on there. That should be alright for you. If you get to a point where you're too strong, and your abs are so strong that you have to put like 50 kg on there, then you're suffering from success. And God bless you, man. And I do need to stress, no matter how big your abs are, if you don't have a low enough body fat percentage, they're not going to be shown. You may be doing the perfect ab exercises, progressively overloading, doing incredible training, but if you're 30+% body fat, you're not going to be able to see them. You're not going to be able to see the work. When you do cut it down, it's going to be great. But until then, you do have to acknowledge that although the muscles are there, they are going to be covered by that layer of fat. But when you do cut that fat down, it's going to be like Christmas, open up that present. It's going to be great. Now let's talk about the low-hanging fruit. The fat loss supplements that just don't work. The shortcuts, the easy ways out. We've all been there. Maybe not all of us. Definitely have been. Let's talk about a few of the fat loss shortcuts that don't work. Especially the ones that are marketed towards getting the abs revealed. Yo, burn belly fat. Get 6-pack abs. Shortcuts. There's no magical pills, there's no magical creams out there that are going to replace a good calorie deficit. Any of the pills, any of the injections that are on the market are to help with the calorie deficit. And unless I'm mistaken, 50 years from now, new science may be revealed. But unless the laws of thermodynamics change, any fat loss supplement that does work is because it's helping you be in a calorie deficit. Either it's making you burn more energy, usually by loading it with caffeine, because then you're going to be jittering, you're going to increase your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, going to be moving around more, therefore burning more calories. Or, on the opposite end of the spectrum, appetite suppressants. You're not going to be taking in as many calories. But something a lot of people neglect to talk about with these is that they are only temporary. Ozempic, all of those, the minute you stop taking those, you've not built up the good habits. And you're going to go back to exactly where you were. You've not fixed your diet. You've just stopped being as hungry. You've not built the discipline. That's why I firmly believe building up the mental toughness, the resilience, but also the knowledge about the diet. Picking the best food options, building your own personal best diet that works for you to help be in that calorie deficit. All of this is much better than any quick fix, because that is the only sustainable way around it. Not just because of the price of, an Ozempic or whatever the next one is going to be. And any of these drugs, any of these supplements, creams, whatever they may be, that claim to burn fat any other way, be extremely suspicious of. If it's not putting you in a calorie deficit, it's not going to burn the fat. Simple as. Now let's talk about hormones. Yes, your hormones can affect your fat storage patterns, where the fat gets stored around your body. But unless you're a severe outlier, it's not going to be the reason why you're storing more belly fat. It's just not. A lot of that is going to be down to genetics. If genetically you store a lot of fat in your belly, not much can be done about that. You're just going to have to get to a lower overall body fat percentage than most other people to be able to reveal your abs. The benefit of that, you're going to be extremely lean elsewhere. Lean back, lean arms, vascular. If you are in that position where you do store a lot of your body fat in your abdominals, I would highly recommend focusing on resistance training, building up those ab muscles to help show through your body fat so you don't have to be as lean. Here's some other belly fat myths that you're going to hear everywhere. Artificial sweeteners cause belly fat. Gluten stores belly fat. Specific foods cause belly fat. There are no ingredients that are going to make you store more belly fat than others. If there's anything I want you to take away from this video, is that getting lean, getting to a lower body fat percentage, and building up your ab muscles are the two only things that you're going to need to get a six-pack, to get abs. Just focus on those. Ignore all the noise. Ignore the hormone myths. Ignore all the supplements. Ignore all of that. Get lean and have enough muscle to show. Stay consistent and don't fall for the gimmicks. If you want a coach to guide you through this process, go to excaliburempower.com. We can guide you through whatever step of the process you're at to where you want to be. Go to excaliburempower.com to lift your limits and forge your future.